What up, with your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios? It is What the Fuck Wednesday. Thank y'all for joining us today. Uh, we got a little bit of scattered, a little bit of everything tonight. Make sure you put the allegedly that goes across the bottom, Greg. Because, oh yeah, my internet was great until about maybe 20 minutes ago. As soon as we started fucking with this show, the almighty algorithm decided to, just stick the tip in just a little bit. All right. So with that being said, um, there's been a lot of talk out there about this project 2025, and most people who like to run their mouth about it have just listened to the bullshit that's on TV. Because when I challenged everybody who's been running their mouth about 2025, nobody's actually read it or has any fucking clue. They just know what some idiot rapper said at an award and whatever the fuck Joy Reid is spewing out of her hot fucking mess ass. So I try to read it. I'm not gonna lie. I try to read it. I was looking for the baby killing. I was looking for the gay bashing. I was looking for the internment camps. I was looking for all this horrible shit that's supposed to be in there. And I only got to page 50. I ain't gonna lie to you. I only got to page 50, and there ain't shit about any of that in there. Not a motherfucking thing. Nothing. Nothing. Nor is Donald Trump's name mentioned in there. That's a big fucking thing that everybody keeps saying. Oh, he may not be a part of it, or he may not be, written it, but he's mentioned a bunch of times. Where? Because I started from the acknowledgments. I went through the fucking table of contents, through the fucking foreword, through the promise that's in there. That boring motherfucking document. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I even went to audiobook because I couldn't stay awake reading it. It was boring. Now, the proof that I have that most of these libtards and snowflakes have not read any of this and that are just fucking rolling on whatever they hear on TV. I put a post out that lied. I put a post out that said it didn't mention anything about abortion or it didn't mention anything about any of that. And that was a lie because in the, I believe it's the foreword or something like that, it does mention abortion. So that just proves that none of y'all know what the fuck you're talking about. But what it does say about abortion, and it doesn't just talk about abortion alone, it starts with the nuclear family and how it's been decimated over the decades and how it contributes to a lot of crime, a lot of poverty, a lot of just everyday bullshit that goes on in the world. And there's studies. I mean, I haven't done any research on it, but there are plenty of studies out there that has talked about the benefits of having a two-parent home. And even in the black community, it does mention the black community. That's 70% of the black community, the people are being raised by single mothers. Now, that being said, the reason why they brought that point up was because they brought up the bringing back of the nuclear family and how our government over the past so many decades, especially under the Democratic administrations, give more and more incentives to single parent homes, mostly single female parent homes. And we see that every day. We see, I have friends, that are together and they have kids, and it is harder for them to get any kind of government assistance. It's harder for them to get any kind of fucking food stamps or any kind, Lord forbid, health care if you're a two-parent household. But yet, if you're a single-parent household, you get food stamps, you get you a check. Sometimes they'll pay for you a car. They send you, they give you stipends for fucking schooling, shit like that. There's all kind of benefits, even in the tax. We'll go from welfare to the taxes. Even there's a lot more tax breaks for single parents than there is for a double parent home. So I don't know if I agree with it, but it sure is nothing that's a major disagreement, or should be a major disagreement. They did not say they were going to ban abortions. They did not say they were going to take away abortions anywhere. What they did say was they were going to stop and defund government funded abortions. Now, that takes all you welfare queens out the fucking pocket. That takes all all these fucking little liberal, oh, it's my body, my this, my that. Okay, yeah, it's your body, it's your this, it's your that, it's your fucking bill. It's not my bill. It's not any other taxpayer's fucking bill. We all struggling too. While you out here spreading your fucking legs for every Tom, Dick, and whoever the fuck getting knocked up, and my government health care and say, nah. And that's where people are having a fit. It's the free ride. It's not so much the 2025, and it's not so much the racial issues or the gender issues. It's all your fucking freebies you're getting taken away. All this little horseshit, that the incentives that kept you to sit on your fucking ass and just shit out babies that become nothing but a fucking burden on society. It's that they're taking away. You fuck up. You decide you don't want to keep it. You pay for it. It ain't our jobs. Now, in replacement of that, they say that they want to put more funding to adoption agencies, to welfare programs that help two-parent households, to different tax programs and different, more along that lines. Helping people if you don't feel like you could handle being a mother, say some fuck shit happened, or plans, it shit happens. You don't know you got hit until you get hit. You know what I'm saying? So I understand there are situations, and that's what they're saying. They're saying we will give help to the people who ended up in the situations where, all right, you're knocked up and you thought you was good, but now you ain't gonna be good. They're gonna help out. That's the plan in the 2025. Now, here's another thing before we go any further with this. This is not real. They've been making these fucking books up since the fucking 80s. Back in the Reagan administration, maybe a little bit further. Maybe an idea was picked here and there from that. Just like your preacher picks different verses of the Bible and then all of a sudden that's the word of God. But these are real. This isn't a mandate. The Heritage Foundation is just like any other fucking, it could be the what is that? The Make-A-Wish Foundation. The fact that this is what the fucking Democrats are standing on is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. And again, I'm not passing judgment just yet. I'm not saying you're wrong. As of right now, it's not looking good for you guys. But I'm only 50 pages into 900 pages. I'm going to continue to try to find out what the fuck is the big problem here. But I'm still not seeing it. Not at all. Not at all. Some people say they want to strip away at the education department. Yeah, because our schools have went from schools to indoctrination places. Horseshit. Jared posted a meme earlier, and it's absolutely right. If your students know your political views, you have failed as a teacher. None of that shit belongs in the school. You're supposed to learn how the political process rolls. You're supposed to learn about the different branches of the government. The legislative, judicial, and the executive, for the people who are out there have no fucking clue. Because that apparently they did a poll, and that was the biggest question missed. Nobody knows the branches of government, especially most of these armchair politicians. So, yeah, and they're not like, they're saying, oh my God, they're taking away the education. Yeah, but what are they doing? They're not only putting better schools or better training to the people and taking all this DEI horse shit out of the schools, which is another big thing people are having a fit about. Yeah, sex belongs in sex ed, and that's when you're a little bit older. That's it. There's no trans ed. There's no furry ed. There's no none of that shit. None of you fucking teachers should be allowed to say, fuck the parents. I'm going to do this for this student because it's right in your mind. You're fucking full of shit. And that just on a side note, that goes to an article that Greg, I believe Greg posted earlier about a school. I forget where the fuck it's at. I'm going to ask him when I pull him back on, pull him on camera. A school that's forcing, without any parental consent, forcing kids to get vaccinated. No, that's some fuck shit. No. And if you guys think that's right, you want to look out for you got to look out for the whole of society. Well, the whole of society is telling you you're mentally unstable. You can't just pick and choose when you want to go from the whole of society to an individual. So yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to read this shit and try to figure out what the fuck is going on about it. But there's a lot of other problems and a lot of other horse shit out here that they're masking with this Project 2025. Because not very many people has heard of Project 2030. And that is the Green New Deal on fucking veggie steroids. That's some new fuck shit, and that's by the Democrats, and they want to implement that by 2030. And a little brief brush on it, no more regular cars, no more regular stoves, no more, everything's electric. Everything is electric. They want no more fossil fuels by 2030. No more fossil. Yeah. So that means, and they're not, they ain't even giving you okay, well, we don't want you to drive a gas powered car anymore, so we're going to give you a voucher for an electric car. No, it's, you're going to put this fucking car down and you're either going to walk or figure it out, or you're going to get fined or arrested. Horseshit. Fucking horseshit. That means all the factories, all the buildings, all the everything, they all got, like, they ain't been trying to do it already with the whole carbon tax. And yeah, and then, they'll come out with the carbon tax thing, which is just paying your way out of your bullshit. They try to, Obama put that shit into implementation. Oh, you got to be green. You got to switch over to the EPA shit. Or you could just pay this so many thousands or millions of dollars and you get you a carbon tax credit. Horseshit. But the main thing I want to talk about today, we're going to bring Greg out here. I was, seeing him doing his little background thing. I didn't want to fuck anything up. So come on out, Greg.
What up, everybody?
Main thing I wanted to talk about before everybody else decides to join is Project 47. Now, Project 47 is real. And before I say anything about that, I'd love to give a shout out to Atlas Novak. He's a fellow comedian, a fellow podcaster. He does a lot of shows with Dino. I believe it's Destination Dan they do, and a couple other shows or whatever. Go check him out, Atlas Novak. Real cool dude. Real cool shows. And, of course, Dino on there. But Atlas was the only one. Now, I'm a Trump supporter, but all my dudes at the studio, anybody who knows me knows, I call it like I see it. When there's bullshit, there's bullshit. When Trump fucks up, I'm the first one to fucking be like, what the fuck? Because I'm backing that motherfucker. So if I see some fucking bullshit, that's a reflection on me. I mean, that's just the way, and that's my accountability. So I posted a picture and then of Trump earlier in the week. It was him and I believe Rosa Parks, that was Rosa Parks, not just a black lady.
And then,
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I was gonna say Muhammad Ali. I remember seeing it.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali, and I don't know who the little white lady in the corner was, but there was another. They were all getting different awards. Now, most people, because a lot of people have not seen that picture, and the people who do see the picture say it's a fake picture or it isn't because it wasn't supposed to be. You know, a lot of news outlets try to portray that the picture was Trump getting a civil rights award because he was there with Rosa Parks or whatever. No, that was an award that from the city for some shit that he did for the city in contracting and realty. It was not a civil rights award, nor did he ever say it was a civil rights award. He was just there accepting an award with Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali, and his other lady. So, that getting that all out of the fucking way. So Atlas mentioned, because Atlas is my dude, but he's snowflakey. Atlas mentioned about how racist Trump is, and even though he's got an award with some black folks or whatever. And that's why I said it ain't just some black folks. That was Rosa Parks and Muhammad Ali, motherfucker. That ain't just some black folks. But he brought up the Central Park Five. And that's something that pisses me off to no end about Democrats and liberals. Fucking pisses me. All this DEI horseshit, all this ginger, whatever the fuck bullshit, all your little race card horseshit. Eventually, it's all come true. Alex Jones looks like the most truthful person on fucking line, we got a problem. And I like Alex Jones, and I follow Alex Jones. But when everything that nut job has said is now true and factual, I mean, what we gonna say? There ain't nothing you can do. Shut the fuck up. But the Central Park Five, a lot of people like to call that's where they like to originate Trump's racism in the public. And for the people who don't know about Central Park Five, there was this white lady out in, I believe in Central Park, New York. She claims that she was assaulted by 5 black kids. Supposedly brutally raped, whatever the fuck. There was a big trial. It was all over the news back then. Donald Trump being he wasn't in politics, but he was, a public figure, He happened to say on a news interview that these kids are animals and they all deserve the death penalty. Now, what up, Big Grape? So he wasn't calling them animals because they were black. And I can't stand when people, he said this, so he's being racist. No, he called them animals because anybody who would, 5 people who would rape a woman or any mixture of that combination, they are fucking animals and they deserve the death penalty. Now, he was wrong though. He was wrong. And let's see what the Grave say. That was his city. He wanted the criminals caught. To be honest, anybody who committed that crime needs a death penalty. Agreed. And this is from a half Hispanic, half black man. Anybody, if that would have taken place, if that was real, if it wasn't found out that lady was full of shit later on in life, which we got we got an echo.
I got you.
If that was true, then I'd totally feel the same way about Trump. Trump would be on the right side. But being that it was all debunked, no matter how many years down the road these kids spent in jail, they got the big fuckola, pretty much. These kids, they did get done bad. My biggest issue with Donald Trump is, especially now that he's such a public figure and that he's such a, now he's going to be president again. You owe them kids an apology. I'm a firm believer that Trump don't owe nobody an apology but them motherfucking kids. Out of all this E. Jean Carroll horse shit and the Georgia horse shit and the New York horse shit and all the rest of that, all this, and even, I love this new one that Jared's on. He's the pedophile. It's proven. No, what the fuck it's not. Go read the goddamn court documents. Fucking name ain't in any of that shit. And not only was that old shit, but it was debunked, and the girl said that she didn't even remember any of that. So, I mean, now, mind you, it could have been paid off. It could have been this or that. But then, Jared's big thing, oh, you're just blinded and you want to follow. No, the fuck I don't. I just follow what the fuck is real. And my fucking views and opinion can change at a click of a fucking mouse. Once I find out real shit, once I find out if I'm saying something wrong, I feel like it's my duty. I mean, as little bit of as low level media or news person that I claim to be, that's what the fucking major media outlets should be doing. You stepped on your dick. Sorry, let me fix this. It's not that hard, people. It is not that hard. I don't understand, especially in the news. The news it's harder for the news to fucking say that they was wrong than the fucking politicians these days. So, anyways, shout out to Atlas for actually bringing up a real problem with Donald Trump, a real issue, a real something personal that somebody could be pissed off about. But I feel like there's three major things. There's the Central Park 5, there's the Khashoggi incident, there's the not acting for the autism, but now we got a fourth one. So, in Project 47, which is the real deal, which is Trump's agenda or whatever that he would like to get going. Because once again, you people need to realize, even if it's Trump's agenda, that don't mean Congress is going to pass it. That don't mean any of the, that shit still has to go through Congress. So, I mean, there's still far and few. There's a lot of shit Trump wanted to do this first fucking time around, and they stopped that shit up.
All right, so Jared just got into studio here.
I see the big sniz. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing big motherfucking sniz straight out the motherfucking steakhouse.
Straight out the steakhouse.
Maybe.
What's happening?
What up?
You season.
So we was talking about like how I gave a shout out to Atlas, because Atlas, I mean, I've talked about this with you before. My major issues with Trump, I know are real issues with Trump that are totally not debunked and totally still not fucked with. One of them was the Central Park 5. And I believe he owes them kids an apology. I mean, they're grown ass people now, but still to this day, he owes them kids an apology. But I've got a fourth thing now, and I just mentioned it to you a little bit ago on the chat. But in his Project 47, he wants to re-implement stop and frisk, but nationally, all over the country. That is some fuck shit. Now, that was Giuliani's idea, and he did implement it back in the late 80s, early 90s, because New York was, it's about as bad as it was about as bad as it's getting now. And it wasn't a good thing. I mean, it worked, but just because it worked, it wasn't a good thing.
The ends don't. When you're talking about civil liberties, the ends don't justify the means, dude.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it cut down on some crime.
Actually, it cut down on a whole lot of crime. It went from, I forget what it like damn near cut it over half.
Sure, but it also incarcerated tons of people for nonviolent,
that's what I'm getting at.
No victimless crimes.
Right, that's what I'm getting at.
That is not what people are supposed to be fucking incarcerated for. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be any laws that, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is we need to get to a point where, jail isn't what we just send motherfuckers to.
Well, you were supposed to go. Jail was supposed to be a reform, a rehabilitation, whatever to get you back in society.
No, that's always been bullshit because it's never been that.
And no, it's just asses and chairs. Money for the asses and chairs. That's pretty much what it is. Pretty much what our schools are. But anyways, like I was saying, the re-implement not only just for because I as much as I'm not for it, there might be certain instances where you might need to have it. But right now, the way our authorities and our policing, especially in the past fucking 10 years, have gone down this shithole. No, we can't get our cops under control right now, let alone giving them this extra power.
You saw, I know it was a meme, but you saw what I posted about if you're offended about the opening ceremonies, but not, that lady who that cop straight up fucking murdered.
Right.
This just happened at the same time. Did you see anybody bitching about that on your news feed, or was it all about fucking Dionysus and fucking Jesus Christ?
But pretty much that. I seen like maybe 2 or 3, and I actually had to. It wasn't even on the news feed. I actually had to go and look for what the fuck these, because I just saw the picture of the cop and the old lady.
Right,
and that goes back to what I was talking about. Well, it was a few shows ago when a guy and his wife were drinking. The wife was getting a little rowdy. The neighbors called the cops. The husband was like, "Look, she's okay. She's just a little drunk in the house." The guy said, the cops asked, "Are there any guns in the house?" Guy said, "Yes." He was just answering questions. Yeah. They fucking rushed in the house. The lady got scared, ran. They fucking murdered that lady inside the house. And then they were going to shoot the dude when he's like, "What are you doing? Quit shooting my wife."
Right.
Yeah. So, maybe in a better
you got to see the body
maybe with better, training and whatever, a stop and frisk might. I'm just trying to find some kind of little shred. But right now, no. We don't have cops that are doing their fucking job right now. The good ones, pretty much, y'all idiots have fucking knocked out of the way and degraded to the point where they don't want to be cops no more.
Listen, first of all, there is no such thing as a good cop as long as they stand silent and allow bad cops, or they toe the blue line. You know what I mean? And they play the game of protecting their brother. Like, as long as that's going on, there's not a single good cop. Let's be perfectly fucking honest. Now, there might be some that aren't there to just rape your fucking rights away from you, but that doesn't make them inherently good. The problem is we have a system that doesn't reward good cops. It only rewards the bad ones, the aggressive ones, okay? The whole system, top down, inside out, left, right, it's all fucked. So the whole problem is with stuff like this stop and frisk, there can never be a good time for it. Because that means that we have decided to at least exchange part of our liberty for something. And the second you give away any of your liberty, you will never get it back.
Never.
Look at everything that Lincoln did during the Civil War. There were all measures enacted to keep the country together and income tax was formulated. It was supposed to expire when the war did. Guess what ended the war? But guess what didn't? All the shit he enacted for the war. And it never goes away. Remember the Patriot Act? It's now called something else, but you've lost even more rights with the new revisions.
Yep. And for anybody who doesn't think Jared's absolutely right. And here's a little fact check for you. Go look at what they did, what they got Donald Trump under in Colorado. It was a Civil War enacted law made so the Confederates could not be a part of Congress. And that's how they try to take Trump off the ballot in Colorado. So he's absolutely right. There's these laws that are enacted that are supposed to have a time limit or a term limit. Never do. Never.
What we have the issue of is what I continue to get back to is, first of all, there's no system of government that can be perfect, right? Because they're all run by people.
Right.
Man is fallible, okay? Plain and simple. So you now have just generations upon generations. You've got 100 years of it being stacked against us. Seriously, look, just take politics in a nutshell, okay? Look at how the game has changed and what's gone on since, say, Oh, let's go back to just like pre-Nixon. Look at how the game has changed as far as even how you get to be considered to be a candidate. Listen, even local politics, unless you can prove you have enough money, they won't even let you. You can't even get on a ballot, bro. You have to certify that you have X amount of funds to even run for county commissioner or township chairman.
Yeah.
Township commissioners. You have to prove you have enough money to get in. I mean, if that right there doesn't prove that it's a club that you're not allowed to be in, I don't know what does. And I mean, they continue to do is make it worse and worse and worse. And what we've allowed to have happen is we've polarized ourselves off of certain issues, kept fighting inward, and now we have fractured as a people and split so much that people are really willing to cut their fucking nose off just to spite their face.
Yeah. Yep.
But
And
listen,
the weird thing that's getting me though,
for a fact, since Reagan, we've had every candidate, and I'm not a fan of Reagan. I'm just using that as a time frame because that's the time frame of my life. Okay, I remember those things firsthand. I'm not going back and relying on learned knowledge. Right. Okay, it's the only reason because you can go.
That's the same way I am.
You can go back farther than that.
My earliest one, I remember that I could actually, I knew what the fuck was going on was Reagan.
It's continually gotten worse. Every election cycle, our choices have gotten worse. I mean, really, look at how they're like flim-flamming and everything like the Democratic candidate.
What the fuck that the Stallion chicks twerking on Harris's thing. And then when she was done, everybody, well, not everybody, quit for the conservatives and the Republicans and right wingers, whatever. Quit saying it because it's a fucking lie. They didn't all leave. Only about a third of them left. They did show a lot of people leaving though, and they were just there to see fucking Megan twerking. I mean, but yeah, I mean that. What part of the presidency does that got to do with?
None of it does, and it just shows like the joke that we've become. I mean, seriously, even
proves how much of a soap opera it is.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Same thing I've been saying for the last 15 fucking years.
I heard Joe Rogan snapping about like,
I mean,
the Black Mirror, or is this fucking
not
what the fuck is going on?
Honestly, the last time, let's see, I have voted for a president one time since Perot, I believe.
I voted for Perot.
I did too. I'm sorry, no, twice. I voted for two presidents since then.
I voted for Perot.
I absolutely now totally fucking regret, but you can't do anything about it. And the other one, the world slept on because like we wouldn't be in the shit show we're in. But the last time I honestly thought we had somebody that could do a halfway decent job was Joe Jorgensen and Spike Cohen. Ted Nugent's a pedophile and a piece of shit.
Oh, shit.
Straight up. Fuck him.
I never really like. What is the big hype against? I know he carries guns and he's this and that, but
I like the guns.
Ted Nugent like a rock and roll dude or whatever.
Yeah, he's a guitarist.
70s, I think.
His 70s and 80s. He was a guitarist for Damn Yankees also. I mean, he's a decent enough guitarist, and I'm not gonna lie, there were a lot of songs of his I liked.
First time I heard about him was on that Green Jelly song, Little Pigs. It was
you know some of his fucking songs.
Yeah, you do. Like Stranglehold.
I probably do, but it probably wasn't good enough in my eyes for me to fucking give a fuck.
It's classic rock is what it is.
Oh yeah, elevator music. No, I'm good.
I mean, he's decent. I'm not gonna sit here and say he sucks. I mean, that'd be stupid. That's like, when people have the argument about LeBron James and they go, "Oh, LeBron James sucks." No, the fuck he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Now, I don't respect him as much as I do some other players, but he surely doesn't suck.
No,
He's truly a phenomenal player. And to have an opinion, you can not like him, but like, don't be stupid. He doesn't suck.
Right.
You fucking retard. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't suck. He's a phenomenal basketball player. I don't think he's a GOAT. I don't think he has the fortitude to be the greatest of all time.
I'm not a fan of his, and it's not because of his playing. His
my
basketball
stuff
play.
is totally about his basketball stuff. I mean, he doesn't hustle like Larry Bird. He doesn't win like Michael Jordan. He just doesn't. And I had a discussion because I watched the shit out of the Olympics.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hit on that, but
we were talking about it was the men's gymnastics. They were talking about the Chinese, and it was either the last Olympics or the World Championships. One of the Chinese teammates in the men's gymnastics had a broken fucking leg. He finished the floor routine. Then he went on to pommel horse, and I believe then it was the rings, but it was either the rings or the bars. Either way, he stuck his final dismount, which is very difficult. Period. But motherfucker had a broken leg.
Fucking leg.
Competed 3 events with a broken fucking leg. Okay, LeBron James gets a cramp and has to get carried off the court. Now, I'm also not saying that if you have a cramp or something look, I've had cramps.
Hey, look, I got a cramp in the middle of a three.
I've had cramps that curled my leg up and made me not able to function. But there's a difference between get me out and get somebody in here that can perform the job while I'm getting worked on so I can get my fucking ass back out there. And, oh my God, I got to fucking cry and stop the whole fucking everything because I can't fucking, there's a difference.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
The difference is money. When you have millions, you act like a fucking child. When you get paid millions, wait, let me rephrase that.
If I got money, if I'm getting paid.
No, let me rephrase that. You're a millionaire because you get paid millions to play a fucking game. That's how you act.
I don't know, because there's other guys that get paid millions to play a fucking game, and they don't act that way.
I was brought up, if you get paid for the job, you do
I think it's the individual motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But
so, I mean, okay, you can have some talent. You can be good at a game, but that doesn't mean you're it doesn't mean you're tough. It doesn't mean that you can do much else.
Right.
Without the political climate, he's a major celebrity because of endorsement deals. But without the political climate and without, the whole woke thing, what would he have besides basketball right now?
Exactly.
Okay. So I get it. That's why he's popular because, he jumped on the donkey dick.
But
John Cena did the same thing.
What Jared was saying, there's people like Shaquille O'Neal. That fucker became a police officer. That fucker became
that dude got tired. That dude got tired of going into business meetings and everybody walking over to his agent and his accountant to make the deal. They'd be like, "Hey, Shaq, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. Shoot the shit with them. Then they go talk business with everybody else, and he'd go, "Wait a second, it's my money.
Yeah,
you need to talk to me." So what'd he do? He went and got an MBA. Now, this is what's cool about Shaq. He got his master's of business administration. He went to University of Phoenix, which is online. But Shaq said, I don't want to go online. I want to come to a class. And they said, hey, we don't do classes, and we're not doing it for just one person. You're going to have to do a whole class if we're even going to consider it. And they said, no. He said, okay, how many people? They said 25. He said, okay. He paid for himself and 25 of his friends to all go get MBAs.
And that's the way it's done.
That's how you do it. Okay, so there's guys out there that have done it. Michael Jordan. I mean, that's the comparison. He got paid millions to play a game, and that dude's drive was unreal. Kobe Bryant.
No,
got paid millions to play a game, but that dude's drive was unfucking real. They didn't bitch, they didn't whine, they didn't moan. They were assholes sometimes. They were straight up assholes sometimes.
Oh yeah, but I mean, fuck. But did you hear me? Ain't Kobe doing flight simulator games now?
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. So you said I haven't gotten to see it. I'm trying to find a fucking video of it, and all I'm getting is little clips here's and there's. I did this one part that I'm kind of actually curious about. So inform me. Let me know what's going on, because I got views on this fight even before I seen the fight.
I have not seen the Olympic fight.
You haven't seen the fight that everybody's talking about?
What I saw was fuck, the Algerian fighter, and I will not say his name correctly, and I can't remember it, so I'm not gonna.
That's what I'm talking about.
The Algerian fighter. What I saw was clips from his fight at the World Championships last year, where he fought that Mexican female fighter before they knew that he was a biological male.
Oh, well, that's.
I didn't see any of the Olympic action yet. Unfortunately, boxing actually coincided with some swimming, and everybody knows I'm not missing any of the fucking swimming action.
Well, apparently, this Algerian dude beat the piss out of this chick from Paris.
He beat the shit out of that Mexican girl too. Like if you watch the viciousness of the fucking hits themselves, literally after the fight, when she was talking about it, she said that she could tell a difference in the punches. They hurt so bad. She knew she was out of her depth immediately. In her 13 years of boxing, she had never been hit that hard, ever. So it's not like she was some geek off the street. This was Mexico's top.
One of her finest, yeah.
Right. And like, she's not, she ain't no bitch. She's a good fighter.
So I haven't seen the match either.
I didn't want to see the Olympic one because I knew I was just going to get so enraged that like I would probably pop a blood vessel and start motherfucking everybody and probably break something.
Well, see, this is my thing though. And what's up, Sharon? My whole point is, no, you have no right to be mad. There is no reason to be mad. There's no reason to be mad.
For who to be mad?
We can't be mad about that boxing match.
Why can't I be mad about it?
This is why, because this is where we live now. This is what these people wanted. If we're mad at this fight, then we're transphobic. We're considered transphobic.
Bro, I've lived my entire life not giving a fuck what anybody considers me. I mean, obviously.
Well, I'm just saying this is what's being portrayed on the world now. This is okay. So if this is fucking okay, fuck them. Fuck them both. She got her equality. Down goes Frazier. Down goes fucking Frazier.
Absolutely not.
And then you know what really sickens me? It doesn't have to do with the Olympics, but it kind of ties into it a little bit. Well, it was Riley Gaines and is that the chick who just got freed from Russia, or is that the other chick?
No, Riley Gaines is the female swimmer.
Right. Okay. So then the other one is Grimes.
Yeah.
Okay. So apparently people are giving Gaines shit because Grimes kneeled during the national anthem, and Riley went off and saying you don't have to fucking believe it, or you can have your own beliefs or whatever, but you should show some fucking respect for the country that went and got your ass.
She's entitled to that opinion.
Huh?
Riley Gaines is absolutely entitled to that opinion. Here's the deal. You know me and Nealon, though. I even if I agree with Riley on this, my opinion on the kneeling is like I am on just about every protest, as long as it's peaceful and lawful. I don't have to like it. I don't have to agree with it. You have a right to do it. And my responsibility as a freedom-loving citizen is to defend your right to do things I don't fucking like or I don't fucking agree with. That's the problem with freedom.
And that's what I'm saying about this.
Freedom means everybody's free. It also means stupid people are free to do stupid shit, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Exactly. And again, this goes back to the boxing match.
No, there's a difference. There's a difference there, though.
There's no difference there.
Yes, there is.
This is what they wanted, and I'm defending their right to do it.
The fucking French woman didn't want it, and it's her right that needs protected. Not
she
the
people been like, hey, throw in the towel.
Oh, no one wants to be a fucking quitter at the Olympics, dude.
Motherfuck. So you're either gonna get your ass whooped and fucking whine about it afterward, or you're gonna stop the fight because, hey, a dude just hit me. I mean,
no.
Yeah, that's it.
No, that's not it. It's you.
I
Here's the
I
thing.
personally
No. You rambled my turn. The thing about you is you love to make it black and white until someone calls you on your shit, and then the gray areas are okay to live in.
Call it.
That's how you are.
I'm saying exactly what you said. I'm
No,
defending their right.
Hey, your turn to be quiet and listen now.
It's my show, motherfucker.
Then don't have people on to debate with if you won't let them debate.
Ricky, go ahead.
When it's one-sided, it's not okay. When it's a mutual decision, then it's okay. Mutual. Everything's about consent. Period. The entire world should revolve around consent. Then we don't have 90% of the problems we have now.
So could I ask you a question on that view?
Yes.
Did this lady not consent to be in the Olympics? Did this lady not consent to be in whatever fight that she has to come across? Did this lady not consent to be wherever in the world and fight whoever in the world?
I don't know the specifics to that. I can't say yes or no to that question.
Because therein lies your gray area.
No, the gray area
that there
bullshit.
is.
Bullshit. The gray area is the fucking International Boxing Committee banned these athletes. The International Olympic Committee said, oh, wait a second, fuck your authority. We're going to let them participate.
Now, that's a whole different monster.
But it's what created the monster. That's Dr. Frankenstein.
This is the monster that created the problem.
Who's liable is Dr. Frankenstein, not his monster. His monster did exactly what he was created to do.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Is the one that needs held liable.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So okay, we agree.
I'm saying the girls are going at it, but the girls are going at it. That they signed up. Whether you want to be a dude, girl, whatever. I don't like it, but they knew what they were getting into. Or at least they thought they knew what they were getting into.
There's a big difference there.
When they go into what you said, when the two committees, one banned it and one said, fuck you. Now, that's the monster that created that other horse shit. Now, where in there is the problem. And that's where you're going to get a bunch of fucking, you can't say no because of, the transgender rights. And the other one's going to be like, well, look at what the fuck it does. And it's going to be that same battle.
Listen. People, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying we can't be against it because there's a certain group of people that are going to be like, oh, well, you're violating rights that don't exist.
No, I'm saying that's what society is telling us. We can't be against it. You know me, I don't give a fuck. But we, as a people nowadays,
I guess the difference is I understand authority, right? I understand how authority works. Authority has to come from somewhere, right?
Right.
If you're the authority on something, it's because somebody made you that authority. Somebody gave you that authority. Okay? Society in general doesn't have authority to tell me what I'm allowed to do and what I'm allowed to think. And I totally believe that. So I guess I don't listen to that. So like when you say things like society won't let us, they won't let us, we're not allowed to. I guess the reason that doesn't enter my vocabulary at all is because I don't believe that.
When you woke up this morning, this was America.
They don't have authority over me. I do not recognize their authority. So therefore, what they say goes in one ear and out the fucking other. I don't listen. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You would have to give a fuck in order for your statement to apply. So who gives a fuck if somebody's going to be offended? Right is right, wrong is wrong.
That's
moral right is moral right, moral wrong is moral wrong.
About. And I
don't give a shit. I'm not talking about transgenderism being morally right or morally wrong. I don't have a moral issue with someone who is transgender. On that basis and value alone, I don't have a moral issue. I have a moral issue when you are genetically, biologically, and everything a fucking man, and you are in especially contact combat sports, it.
Dude, have you seen some of the MMA ones?
Bro, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
Yes. And
right,
I literally I didn't, there was one clip I went to see and I didn't last past, I know it wasn't even 30 seconds because I was like,
oh no, dude, I honestly,
hunt this motherfucker down. Like, Jesus Christ, like,
honestly,
if you did it to your wife in the living room, you're going to prison.
The human part of me, the last little bit of, I guess, if you want to call it goodness in me, feel some type of way about it. But just seeing how the society rolls and how a lot of people talk shit about me or because I have the same views when I'm out on the street, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I call it the way I see it. And you guys have seen, some of the shit I've gotten into in the stages I've been pulled off of.
So before we go any further, how about we go ahead and welcome Ricky here so he can kind of pop.
Motherfucking Sasquatch in the house.
What's up, Rick?
That's bored.
Heard.
All right.
But yeah,
Hey,
I love
recap all this real quick though. So the chick was French,
one was French and one was Algerian.
and what happened?
Well, the Algerian fighter is a male to female transgender. Stepped in the ring with a biological female fighter who is French and beat the piss out of her.
Decimated.
You should have seen what he did to the Mexican girl at the Worlds. I mean, beat the brakes off this, bro. Like I said, if you did it in your living room, you are going to prison.
But they both know what they're getting into.
No, especially the Mexican did not, because it was not until.
How do you not know that there's a transgender MMA fighter? How don't you know that?
No. Because the way the rules were, it wasn't until testing after they saw the fight.
That was the Mexican one, but the French knew.
The Mexican one.
The French knew.
Listen, I said, I'm talking about the Mexican one because that's the only one I saw. I didn't see the other one, so I can't have an opinion on it yet. I didn't see it. This one, she didn't know. Everything was entered as a man, or as a female. Everything was built up to be a female. Their country passed everything off as it being a female. Looks like, you know how some female fighters look, but you can still tell. To me, I can usually 99% of the time, it's not difficult. Anyways, so nothing about the fighter being a biological male came out until during the fight they saw, and they went, wait a second, something's not right. So then they did a chromosome test. They actually did it on 2 fighters because there's 2 in the Olympics right now, both from different countries. Both were banned by the International Boxing Committee because of this.
But like you already said, the
So,
Olympic Committee oversees everything.
No, the Olympic Committee oversees the Olympics. They don't oversee
but
the IBC championships.
They're not. This isn't a boxing match. This is the Olympics. Straight up.
Well, you asked me about the one that was the IBC championships because that's the one I saw.
Yeah,
so, I don't. The one you got to talk to Marco because I didn't see the Olympic one.
But if the Olympics were all right with it, here's the kicker though: they all go through tremendous testing. So that means what? The board was behind this?
Yeah,
They already knew about it before they fought.
Yes, I've already said that.
But you said no.
Yeah,
no.
No. You're confused. No,
Oh,
you didn't listen. I said for the Mexican fight that was last year at the International Boxing Championships.
Yeah.
Before the Olympics ever happened. This is a year ago. That Mexican girl had no clue what she was getting into until she was in the ring and got punched.
Yeah.
And then after the fight, the IBC went, wait a second, something didn't look right. We're going to do some tests here to see what's going on.
Okay, and so
then they tested. Again. Here's what happened. They did their tests and they said, holy shit, you and this other fighter, you're dudes. You're banned from international fighting. You're not allowed to participate as women in this sport. But since the IBC does not oversee the Olympics, the International Olympic Committee does. They said for the Olympics, it was okay. Any other international sanctioned event, it would not be okay. Yeah. It would not be okay.
Right.
But unlike other sports right now, because of some other things in the past, the IBC is not the final authority on Olympic boxing. Other sports, if they have an international association, they overrule the International Olympic Committee.
But
the IBC does not because of some past infractions that they have since tightened up on it and said, "Hey,
So
we want to be taken
was the
legit."
Mexican fight with the Olympics too?
No, that was last year.
Through the boxing committee.
Yeah, that was at the World Championships.
All right. Wait a minute, Jared. Wait a minute. Because I'm thinking people are getting shit fucked up here. Because I just try to find the boxing match, and they keep bringing up your Mexican boxing match.
I don't think they've boxed yet.
So I'm trying to figure out.
I think women's qualifying just started like today, maybe.
Yeah, so it sounded like people are getting this shit mixed up, and they're looking at the match that you're talking about and thinking that it already happened, and that was the fucking Olympic match.
Yeah, I was not certain that they had fought yet in the Olympics.
Oh,
I tried
my
to find
God,
out
this
morning.
fucking chick's face is swollen.
Bro, I'm telling you, he beat
Holy
her.
Fucking shit.
I don't know how I missed this.
It's like, dude, it's seriously like we've made I've made the comments before as we watch some YouTube stuff sometimes, or as you see a very small female officer. Dude, Ricky and I are fucking giants.
I've been this size since I was 10 years old. That's genetic.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can have weapons and you can have training. Hell, you can even have, a fucking purple belt and fucking Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, motherfucker. And I don't. But you could be of a certain size female that none of that's going to fucking matter. Because unless you can actually get to it, if I want to do you harm and impose my will on you, I am a big enough individual that it doesn't matter what training you have. I am going to do whatever the fuck I want to you. Now, it's a good thing I don't like to do that to people, but like I could. So,
Greg. Wait a minute, Jared. Greg, you gotta find this fucking boxing match.
Tuck my balls.
Oh my God.
Take some estrogen, and then you're gonna let me fight a girl like that? That's not fair. I'd murder her.
And this don't even look like this. Looks like a dude with his eyebrows. His eyebrows look better than mine. It's a fucking dude.
One next question is like, how long is that chick been on hormones?
It don't matter. Hormones don't take.
I'm telling you.
True enough.
I'm telling
you're
you.
not gonna beat genetics.
First of all, post male puberty, I don't give a fuck what estrogen and shit you take after the fact. You know what I mean? You already have like the structure in everything between males and females is fucking different. Like, I don't care what you do to yourself in this life. 100 years from now, when scientists dig us up, they're going to look at our bones and they're going to go, that was a chick. That was a dude. Yeah. You can't change certain things no matter how you want to live your life. This is not for me, it's not a question of how you want to live your life. It's not a question of is it right or wrong or this or that if somebody wants to be trans. Absolutely not. I don't give a fuck if you want to be trans.
No, this is just a hierarchy issue of who's in control.
But I don't even give a fuck about control. Understand, every decision has consequences, both good and bad. If you are born a male and want to live your life as a female, cool. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. I don't give a fuck. I'll support the fuck out of you if it makes you happy and you ain't hurting nobody else. But there's a few, to make that decision, you got to give up a few things. One of those is you can't do sports unless it's in a trans thing. Like, big fucking deal. Listen, you know what happens when you get older? Same shit. Like, if I wanted to get back in shape and swim again, I'd have to swim in the Masters Open division.
Start shooting fucking team.
I can't go swim in I got to swim in the Masters. I didn't even choose to get old. It happened to me. Life just fucking happens sometimes. You cannot have everything your way all the fucking time. It doesn't fucking exist. People literally right now are trying to recreate nature because they can't fucking handle anything. They have no fucking intestinal fortitude. The second they don't feel good, the second they're not happy, the second they have a little bit of pressure, the second they have a little bit of pushback, it's so fucking tough. Like, fuck.
And the bad thing is they'll
Your
get on the internet and find 12 other motherfuckers
so
to
the
defend their
generation
fucking
beneath
stupid
us,
idea.
their great-grandparents went through the goddamn Depression. Right before that, like, dude, people had to fucking cut down trees to build their own fucking houses. No, they didn't go work 22 hours a day at a fucking mill. No, they worked outside their house 22 hours a day, cutting down trees and killing fucking animals and fucking doing every goddamn thing that needed to be done. Now, unless you're going to go do that, take your fucking ass to work.
That's it.
We exchange some conveniences, but you know what happens when we do that? We have to pay for them, so we got to go work a dumbass job for a little bit. It's exchange. Go back to living off the land. That's fine. You don't have to have a job. But you better know how to do everything for your goddamn self, and you don't.
Well, that's the problem now because the government is telling us a lot of people that they can't even live off the land no more.
Motherfuckers are actually trying to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
In certain areas, the government's paying people to do it. So, I mean, tell both sides.
It always starts in them small little areas, though.
I'm just saying, tell both sides.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. Tell both sides.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
places that the government's paying you to come take over shit.
Yeah, but a lot of people ain't coming there to fucking take over shit.
I don't give a fuck if people are taking advantage of it or not. That's not the point. The point is the government's doing both. Why would they play both sides?
Because if you got a place that nobody wants to be at, you don't have to worry about it. You can say, hey, we're doing the right thing while we're fucking taking your seeds away and telling you you get your land, if you got water on it, belongs to the government. They always play both sides. Why do you really think that Biden's pissed off that Trump got any little bit of immunity? No, because he knows if he wouldn't have gotten that immunity, then he'd be fucked when he got out of office. That's why old Mr. Dementia Pants started shitting himself. That motherfucker was fine up until that Supreme Court thing, and then all of a sudden, Joe Biden's done lost his shit.
He wasn't fine, and we all know that. Just because they said he was fine doesn't mean he was fine. Remember, we've all seen that condition. I took care of my dad. That's why, and I've voiced this opinion many times upon this show. That's why I did not take personal shots at Biden. Me personally, I laid off because I felt he was being taken advantage of. I'm not saying his whole career. Yeah, I mean, I could go back and talk shit about his politics, but I wasn't going to sit there and make fun of him for stuttering through a speech. You know what I mean?
But look at it 4 years ago. 4 short years, not even 4 years, barely 4 years.
Yeah, but
it was already there. It was already there.
When that shit hits, it hits quick.
It was already there. And if you trust me, the timeline is not shady at all if you've ever actually dealt with dementia.
Oh, yeah.
I think it actually didn't go as quick as it could have, and I think it was because he was able to get treatment that a lot of people are not privy to.
Yeah.
I think they helped him stay it off as long as possible. Honestly, now whether that was,
dude, he said
whether that actually
benefited him when he was ready to go, he was going to fake something sickness, and he was going to go.
Stress definitely
look at Obama.
Will
he
make
had
it
white hair when he came out of office.
Bro, how could that job not be stressful?
Right.
You are told secrets that no one else in the fucking world's told.
Yeah.
You can't tell anybody. Like, there's shit about job. We sit here and talk shit, but listen, there is shit about jobs out there that we critique that no bullshit. I don't want. There's many reasons I don't want that job, and the bullshit side of that job is the reason. Is a lot of the reason why. Like, I don't want to be in charge of people, but two, I don't want to know half the shit that they know. I don't.
That's one thing I did learn from, like, I watched an interview with Obama when he first got into office, and he straight up, they asked him, well, you said you were going to do this, and you said you were going to do that. And he said,
like,
look,
I thought I could,
when you get into office, you find out there's a lot of things that you don't know you couldn't do, or that you couldn't say, or that lines you couldn't cross. And once you get in the office, it all changes.
Yep.
It all, no matter what promises
That's
you made.
Why I say all the time, at the end of the day, it never fucking matters. Plus, a president's a president. Like, really, any law changes and shit, I know there's presidential orders and this and that, but you know,
it's got to come from Congress.
Right. So honestly, like really arguing over presidents, like arguing over which bow goes on the present, because really what you want's inside the box.
Right.
And
because, I mean, even
Congress is the one in the box.
Any Trump supporter could tell you, like, Trump made president. He got a lot what he wanted done, but there's a lot more shit he wanted to get done, and he did not get done because Congress said no.
And it's the same way with the Democrats now. There's
right.
There's a lot of things they haven't been able to get done because Congress is like,
Yep. So I mean, you know, this whole horseshit about, you know, even the fucking 2025 agenda or the 47 agenda or the 30 agenda, you know, when it boils down to it, you got to have everybody on board.
Right.
Any of that shit.
That's why I'm like, yeah, everybody's like, if Trump gets elected, this Project 2024, and I'm like, wait a second. First of all, no, it can't happen because Congress would have to, and they're not gonna same way the other way. If you know Project 2030, no, it can't happen because Congress isn't gonna let the whole you guys are just fear mongering and everybody's falling for it. Use your fucking brain. Come on, you were born with common sense. Don't give it away over irrational fears. Jesus Christ, they create so much fear that it consumes everyone's. It's all consuming. It's the force behind the nothing.
That's it.
It really is.
That being said, that's the hour mark, man. Thank you guys for coming out. I got a show coming up this weekend in Newcastle. I'll post the time, the date, and the place. I believe it's at the Elks Lodge in Newcastle. And whatever else I'll fucking get into. Thank you, Big Sniz and Ricky, for joining us, and always fucking Greg. And everybody out there, don't believe all this bullshit out there. Remember everything that we said. Put the banner across before we end this. Everything we said tonight is alleged. Don't believe a fucking word we said. Go and do your own goddamn homework.
Could be true. Could be shit.
It could be true. Could be shit.
I do know this. Everything I said is just my opinion, and hell, I've been known to be wrong once or twice.
That's it.
I've also been known to be right once or twice, so I mean, fuck it. I'm going to be one of those two about my opinions. That's all there is to it.
Do your own homework and be good to each other.
Absolutely, do your own homework. Please, please, please. There's enough resources out there. Just fucking educate yourself.
That being said,